Hello, Northwest Georgia, and welcome to your weather on North Georgia Television. After a clear, calm, and cold night with temps up in the mid-20s, we have a beautiful blue, sunny skies today. They are expected to remain that way most of the day. Look for clouds moving in later this afternoon, and temps up near 55. Lows tonight in the mid-20s with light and variable winds. In around the region today, Calhoun, 26 this morning, midday, expect 47 and 55 for your high. For Chatsworth, early this morning, a low of 26, look for 48 at midday and then up to 54. Chickamauga, 26 to start your day, midday, you'll be at 46 and then 53 this afternoon. Cohutta, 25 this morning, expect 45 at noon, and 52 will be your high. Dalton, 26 this morning, 46 by noon, and then 54 for your high temp. Fairmount, starting out at 26, 48 expected midday, and 55 for your high. Fort Oglethorpe, a low of 27 this morning, looking at 42 midday and topping out the day at 54. Lafayette, 26 early this morning, expect noontime temp of 47 and 53 for your high. And Ringgold began at 27, looking at 46 midday and then 54. Our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow we'll have rain with thunderstorms possible, mainly in the afternoon, with 5 to 10 mile per hour winds from the south. Highs in the mid-50s, thunderstorms tomorrow night as well, and lows in the upper 40s. More thunderstorms Saturday and Saturday night with winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures up in the 60s and then down in the mid-50s overnight. 100% chance of rain with 1 to 2 inches expected to fall. Sunday, morning showers and then cloudy in the afternoon and temperatures getting up to 70. Cloudy overnight as well and lows in the mid-40s. Monday, cloudy and possible occasional showers, high around 63 and low near 40. And then Tuesday, a mix of clouds and sun with a slight chance of rain, highs in the low 60s and overnight lows near 50. Wednesday, cloudy with afternoon showers, winds at 10 to 15, a high of 64 and a low overnight of about 58. Thunderstorms again Thursday and highs near 70 and lows at 55. And that is your weather. Have a blessed and beautiful day. And here are the area obituaries. Joy Carolyn Smith Epperson, age 76. Carol Epperson passed away Friday, March 1st at Murray Medical Center. Funeral services were held Wednesday, March 6th at 11 a.m. in the chapel of Sean Chapman Funeral Home with Rod Tate officiating. An interment following in Murray Memorial Gardens. Opal Tennessee Tees, age 97. Opal Tees of Each Ridge passed away March 4th. A funeral service will be held Thursday, March 7th at 3 p.m. with David Burkhardt officiating. The family will receive friends from 1 to 3 p.m. on the same day of the service. A private burial will follow at a later time. In lieu of flowers, the family would like donations to be made to Hospice of Chattanooga, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Christina May England, age 43. Christina England of Chatsworth passed away Monday, March 4th. She was born February 20th, 1976. The family will have a private service at a later date. Arrangements have been entrusted to the Dalton Funeral Home. Mr. James Franklin Gravitt, age 75. James Gravett of Rome died Wednesday, March 6th at Floyd Hospital following a sudden illness. Services to honor the life of James Franklin Gravett will be held Saturday, March 9th at 2 p.m. from the chapel of Max Brannon and Sons Funeral Home. Burial will follow in Scott Cemetery in Plainville. The family will receive friends at the funeral home Friday from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. Mr. Jackie D. Abernathy, Sr., age 55. Jackie Abernathy, Sr. of Crandall, passed away Sunday, March 3rd. Mr. Abernathy will be cremated and services will be at a later time. Arrangements made with integrity by Sean Chapman Funeral Home and Crematory of Chatsworth. Olivia Destiny Dunton. Olivia Dunton passed away on Monday, March 4th. A graveside service will be held at 12 p.m. on Friday, March 8th at the Tennessee Georgia Memorial Park with Brother Gary Bender officiating. The family will receive friends from 5 to 9 p.m. on Thursday and prior to the service on Friday at Wilson & Son Funeral Home, Fort Oglethorpe. Carolyn Dedman Price, age 78. Carolyn Price of Rossville, Georgia, passed away peacefully in her sleep March 5th. Funeral services will be held at 11 a.m. Friday, March 8th in the chapel of Wilson Funeral Homes with Reverend Mike Gregg officiating. Burial will follow in the Lakewood Memorial Gardens South. The family will receive friends from 5 until 8 p.m. Thursday, March 7th at the funeral home. Randall Lee Long, Jr., age 41. Randall Long of Chickamauga passed away Wednesday, March 6th. Funeral services will be held 1 p.m. on Saturday, March 9th in Wilson Funeral Home's Fort Oglethorpe Chapel with Brother Bud Stillner officiating. Entombment will follow in the Calvary Gardens Mausoleum. The family will receive friends after 3 p.m. on Friday and prior to the service on Saturday at the funeral home. Mr. Carlton Elmer Bradley, age 66. Elmer Bradley of Dalton entered Heaven's Gates Tuesday, March 5th at his home surrounded by his family. Service to celebrate the life of Mr. Carlton Elmer Bradley will be held Saturday, March 9th at 2 p.m. from the Church of God of the Union Assembly with Stony Kaiser, Demarius Hall, and Deo Wilson officiating. The family will receive friends at the funeral home from 5 to 9 p.m. on Friday. And those are our area obituaries. Now for the news.
Welcome to North Georgia Television News. We are your news, covering Catoosa, Gordon, Murray, Walker, and Whitfield counties. I'm Connie Hall Scott.
And I'm Rose Cardona.
We are filling in for your regular anchors, Adam and Aaron Scott. Coming up in the news today, legislation aimed at protecting Georgians from surprise out-of-pocket health care expenses. Fort Oglethorpe addresses drainage issues at park renovation site. Dalton Public School is reviewing their 2020 budget and how you can visit a local museum for free.
Also, Northwest Georgia Sheriff cite concerns on proposed THC oil legislation. We'll have details on Carter's Dam water release and Raymond impact on the area and on Northwest Georgia Healthcare Partnerships grant to be used for free mammograms. Then we'll find out which local flooring manufacturer received a high ranking for training and development and take a look at some upcoming events around the region.
Legislation aimed at protecting Georgians with health insurance from surprise out-of-pocket medical expenses passed the Senate Tuesday 52-0 to beat the Thursday crossover day deadline. Thursday is the deadline for bills to cross over from one chamber to the other in order to remain alive for consideration. Senator Chuck Hufstetler said his SB 56 is designed to keep the consumer out of the mix when there is a price dispute between an insurance company and an out-of-network medical service provider. Currently, the balance is charged to the patient, who could end up thousands of dollars in debt. Huff-Stetler said 90% of surprise bills stem from emergency care, from a trauma or sudden onset of a medical condition that appears to require immediate treatment. A formula in the bill would determine what the issuer must pay the provider, with the patient's share limited to the in-network cost. He said the bill does give transparency to consumers, and for instances that aren't paid out of emergency situations, it sets up a dispute resolution process. A secondary consideration was to overcome so-called narrow networks, where the number of service providers in a patient's coverage network is limited. Looks like SB 56 still has a rocky road ahead. Huff-Stetler said he amended his bill after it passed out of committee last month at the urging of lawmakers who wanted to see more of a compromise between insurers and providers. He worked with the opposing sides for several days, he said, to resolve as many disparities as possible. There's a full report of amended language in the version that passed the Senate, but he's still expecting pushback in the House, where it's been assigned to the Insurance Committee for review.
Fort Oglethorpe officials have approved an engineering agreement for drainage work that needs to be done at Gilbert Stevenson Park. According to Public Works and Recreation Director Jeff Long, playground renovations are in the works and will be funded by the 2019 SPLOST. But before they can move forward, the park's drainage issues need to be addressed. Long said they have been working with the playground vendors and that they need to have engineers do a study to make sure the water drains properly. Long says one specific storm drain is an area for concern and that the issue needs to be sorted out before the renovation investments are made. Long recommended the agreement with CTI Engineering, who gave a bid of $14,000 to do the study to give their recommendations. The board ultimately approved the engineering agreement with a unanimous 5-0 vote.
Dalton Public Schools Board of Education recently reviewed their budget and found that spending would increase by just over $2 million. But the local property tax rate would remain the same under the first draft of a fiscal year 2020. Fiscal year 2020 starts July 1st. The budget calls for $83.213 million in spending, up from $81.032 million in the 2019 budget. Chief Financial Officer Teresa Perry said the predominant factor in that increase is a permanent $3,000 a year pay increase for teachers proposed by Governor Brian Kemp. The budget passed by the State House of Representatives last week lowered that pay raise to $2,775, but also expanded it to school counselors and other staff certified by the state. The school system budget draft anticipates that salaries would increase to $46.613 million from $44.961 million. But Perry says the majority of that increase should be covered by additional state funding. Quote, "It isn't completely clear how much they will be funding, but based on the information I have, I expect it will be about 70%, she said.
Perry says the system should be able to cover its share of the new spending without raising local property taxes. The tax rate would remain at 8.2 mils for the 6th year in a row. The budget projects that the tax rate would bring $3.909 million up from $30.74 million thanks to growth in the tax digest. The school board is scheduled to discuss the budget further when it meets on Monday at Dalton City Hall. Board of Education Chairman Rick Fromm said there are some things in the budget and that the board has no discretion over, such as the governor's pay increase, but in the discretionary budget, they will be taking a look at adding or keeping teachers to reduce the number of students in each class. He also said that board members would like to provide a pay increase for staff members who aren't covered by the governor's pay increase. The timetable calls for public hearing on the budget in April or May, with the board to give tentative approval to the 2020 budget in May and final approve in June.
And guess what? You can now use your Pines Library card to visit the 6th Cavalry Museum in Fort Oglethorpe free of charge, along with 3 guests, and learn about the history of the U.S. Cavalry in Fort Oglethorpe. The idea for a partnership between the library and the 6th Cavalry Museum was that of Richard Groves, director of the Catoosa Library. The 6th Cavalry Museum preserves the rich military history of the Fighting 6th Cavalry, stationed at the post at Fort Oglethorpe, 1999 through 1942. The story of the 6th Cavalry is illustrious, beginning in 1861 as a U.S. Cavalry regiment to present day. Located on the post original parade ground or polo field, the area is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, surrounded by officers' homes and other post buildings. Visited by presidents, military heroes, and celebrities, the museum houses artifacts, uniforms, weapons, photos, and vehicles. Their general hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. through 4 p.m., but since they are a single-staffed operation, it is suggested that you call ahead to confirm. And we will be right back with you.
With VidLink, we're taking TV, streaming, and video to the next level with one simple app.
Having all the channels in HD is a huge plus. The quality of the picture on each channel is untouched by anything on the market right now. I would highly recommend VidLink to all my friends.
One thing I love about VidLink is the restart feature. If I turn on the TV and it's 10 minutes into a show, I just hit that restart button and I get to watch the whole thing.
Contact us today to learn how you can get linked.
Hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott.
I'm Jane Marie Wilson.
And join us for our second season on Southern
Sassy. This season, we are going to do a day in the life of a fireman. We learn how to belly dance and ride horses.
and wear our wedding dresses.
They still fit, by the way.
Only in the front.
So join us for that and much more this season.
Catch us on OptiLink Channel 6
and WDNN Channel 10. Like us on Facebook, because you never know what you're going to find
on Southern Sassy.
I am Ron McKinney, pastor of Kinsey Drive Baptist Church in Dalton, Georgia. KDBC has been the birthplace of several Christian organizations. It was the birthplace of Christian Heritage School 30 years ago, and through the Academy of Fine Arts, Labrie Symphonic Orchestra was founded by KDBC members Gene and Betty Lindauer. The ministry of KDBC reaches around the world with the missions of To Every Tribe Ministry, and I was a founding member of North Georgia Fellowship of Christian Athletes in 1992. Majesty is the longest running television program on North Georgia television. For 28 years, we have faithfully proclaimed the doctrines of grace. Kinsey Drive Baptist Church welcomes you to visit at 2626 Kinsey Drive on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Our website is kinseydrivebaptistchurch.com. To God be all the glory.
First Bank of Calhoun and First Bank of Dalton are proud to serve our communities, providing the products you need plus the personal service you expect from your hometown bank. We offer the latest technology like customized instant issue debit cards, InstaPay, and more. And with our experienced First Elite bankers, switching to First Bank has never been easier.
Stop by and see what sets us apart.
First Bank of Calhoun and First Bank of Dalton, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Hi guys, I'm Frank Pinson. I want you to tune in on these following show times to watch 101 with Frank Pinson. The show is based on people doing great things in and for your community, our community. Now those are doctors, lawyers, students, teachers, anyone doing great things. So guys, you know the motto, don't just be great, always inspire, motivate, and teach others to do the same. Now that is what we do, and I hope you tune in to WDNN TV. Just click on the website, or you can follow it right here, www.thefrankpinson.com, and watch any episodes you like. See you soon.
County Sheriff Gary Langford joined 6 other sheriffs from Catoosa, Georgia, Dade, Gordon, Walker, and Whitfield counties Monday at the conference disclosing their dissent and raising questions about Georgia House Bill 324. The bill seeks to amend Chapter 12 of Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia anointed relating to offenses against public health and morals, so as to provide for the production, manufacturing, and dispensing of low THC oil in the state, according to the measure sponsored by Representatives Micah Gravely, Mark Newton, Alan Powell, Calvin Smear, David Clark, and Scott Turner. The sheriffs released a signed document citing their concerns, which include 15 specific items that range from funding, oversight, and the period of time to from the bureaucracy, among other listed concerns. Quote, the problem that the local sheriffs and the sheriffs across the state that most of us has is we are concerned with them trying to pass it too fast without looking at it and trying to see exactly what it says and what it stands for, end quote, said Langford. According to Langford, Georgia has about 8,000 eligible patients that may legally be prescribed THC oil, but HB 324 would expand that number to 16,000 or more.
Pastor Ron McKinley, who does a local program, Majesty, weekly on North Georgia Television, would like you to know that author, writer, and preacher Shane Castler, who was on Majesty recently, is one of the speakers at the Christ from Beginning to End conference on March 8th through 10th at Kinsey Drive Baptist Church, Dalton. Shane will be speaking on From Law to Grace Friday night at 6 p.m., Saturday at 11 a.m., and again Sunday at 10 a.m. Saturday at 9 a.m. there will be a Southern breakfast served. There's a nursery provided, and see KinseyDriveBaptistChurch.com for more information. That sounds like a fun event.
Oh, it sounds really interesting.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Mobile District's project site at Carter's Lake began releasing normal high-flow water on the Cassawaddle River through the Carter's Re-Regulation Dam on the 4th due to the main reservoir's high water level. The current water level at Carter's Dam at the beginning of the release was 1,099.6 feet above mean sea level. A normal water level is approximately 1072 MSL. Water releases are currently at approximately 5,000 cubic feet per second, according to James Hawthorne, Chief of Water Management for USACE Mobile District. No significant impacts are anticipated downstream with current releases. USACE Mobile District will continue to monitor forecasts and predictions provided by the National Weather Service. Water releases from Carter's Dam will be adjusted as conditions are determined by possible heavy rainfall.
The Carter's Lake Project Office in Chatsworth reopened two of its day-use areas, Re-Regulation North and Re-Regulation South. These areas were among several closed due to heavy rains and high waters impacting the region. According to Miriam Fleming, project manager at Carter's Lake, conditions are favorable in the areas for public use. North Bank and Ridgeway day-use areas have not been affected and still remain open to the public. However, the Tumbling Water Nature Trail located inside the Ridgeway day-use area remains impassable. Woodridge Branch, Doll Mountain, and the dam site are still closed for use and will remain closed until water recede and debris is removed. The safety of everyone who uses the recreation areas is priority, said Fleming. Finally, please be aware that ongoing inclement weather in the region may require day-use areas to close again in light of health and safety concerns. For more information, contact the Carter's Lake Project Management Office at 706-334-2248.
Dalton-based Northwest Georgia Healthcare Partnership has received a $25,000 grant from the Georgia Center for Oncology Research and Education to fund mammograms for women in Whitfield and Murray counties who don't have health insurance. The sale of the state's special license plate to support breast cancer awareness funds the grants, according to Greg Dent, Executive Director of the partnership. Dent says the grant the partnership received will go exclusively to screening for uninsured women. If the tests detect cancer, the women will be eligible for the Georgia Breast and Cervical Cancer Program. Dent says Hamilton Healthcare System has teamed up with the partnership in the program by providing them with a discounted rate on mammograms to make their funds go further. Women should start getting annual mammograms at age 40, and high-risk women, anyone who has a relative with breast cancer, would like to start their screening 10 years prior to the age of diagnosis of the relative, according to Dalton's Dr. Eric Manahan. He went on to say that the earlier any cancer, but especially breast cancer, is caught, the better the prognosis, and that lack of insurance may deter women from getting mammograms. According to county health rankings and roadmaps, 22% of Whitfield County residents and 20% of Murray County residents lack health insurance. County Health Rankings is a collaboration between Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and the University of Wisconsin Population Health Institute. Women interested in seeing if they qualify for the program should call Northwest Georgia Healthcare Partnership at 706-272-6664. And you know, Rose, that's a really good opportunity for people who are uninsured to be able to take care of themselves.
Most definitely.
Take advantage of that.
Definitely. For the 13th consecutive year, Mohawk earned a position on Training Magazine's prestigious Top 125 list, which evaluates excellence in employee-sponsored training and development programs. The company landed at the 26th spot among some of the county's most highly regarded business, including Atina, BB&T Corp., CVS Health, Edward Jones, and Walmart. The company's extensive safety, technical, and sales training, along with its nationally recognized apprenticeship program, health coaching initiative, tuition reimbursement opportunities, and leadership development, once again earned Mohawk a place on the list. The company retained its position as the highest ranked of 4 flooring manufacturers on the current list, which is compiled by the leading business publication for the learning and development of professional. Mohawk placed 55 spots higher than any other flooring provider, reflecting its industry-leading committed to employee development. Becky Redd, the director of Mohawk's Corporate Learning Resource Network, emphasized that the company's ongoing recognition among the nation's premier learning organizations was a result of Mohawk's holistic and individualized approach to training. Redd noted that training at Mohawk takes on many forms, both formal and informal, and is offered to many platforms, whether on the plant floor, through the company's expansive learning management system, via sales meetings in the field, or via conference calls where knowledge is shared across board geographies. It includes many people who formally train on the plant floor, provided instruction about safety, coach employees on improving their wellness, and deliver technical knowledge.
And here's a look at some upcoming events around the region. Coming up on March 16th, the United We Live Free Faith-Based Suicide Prevention Workshop, 9 a.m. to noon at Stage 123, located at 123 West Gordon Street in Dalton. Presented in English and Spanish. Light refreshments and child care provided. Register to attend by calling 502-376-1990 or go to United We Live Northwest Georgia on Facebook and click the Eventbrite icon.
Also, Habitat for Humanity of Catoosa County celebrates 75 years and will host Blue Jeans, Bluegrass Americana, and Blueprints on March 16th, 2019 at 6 p.m. at the colonnade of 264 Catoosa Circle in Ringgold, Georgia. The event is a fundraiser with a goal of raising $30,000 towards the 2019 Habitat House. It will feature a silent auction, Thatcher's Barbecue Dinner Entertainment from Randall Franks and his Hollywood Hillbilly Jamboree, and Special Volunteers Awards. The event is sponsored by Greater Chattanooga Realtors and RTC. For tickets or more information, call 706-861-5858 or visit CatoosaHabitat.org.
Author, writer, and preacher Shane Kassler, as we mentioned, is one of the speakers at Christ from Beginning to End Conference on March 8th through 10th at Kinsey Drive Baptist Church. Just a reminder. And thank you for tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow.